Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hyrule Chronicles. This is Legend of Zelda Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I am the Game Master, ArticulateT, and with me as always, I have Renji Vox being played by Nether.
That's me.
I have Hikan Sio being played by Avrdal.
So I said that I would share a fun fact today, and I'm going to do that for the intro, so it's going to take a little bit, and I apologize for the people behind me. There is a specific type of robe called a Bedouin, which is worn in deserts, both in black and in white type of style. And how it is folded in the layers that it has, there is no temperature difference between the black and the white one. So what I'm saying is that Gerudos have a specific type of robe that they wear underneath the iron knuckle armor, so that way they can stay somewhat cool in the hot climb.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I also have Zayden Shari being played by Rubber Pirate.
Hello.
And I have Max being played by Keystrith.
Hi.
Okay, so what happened last time, folks?
Last time, we spent a good majority of the beginning of the session getting caught up with Tyrina, sharing stories, having insights in regards to one another, and telling her the stories and showing off some of our scars. As we got up the next morning, we finished most of our preparations that we were able to, and getting... Well, we don't need food, mostly just getting a bunch of water skins. And waiting for Tyrina to wake up before heading out on our way. As we arrive at the fortress, we are the talk of the town, metaphorically and literally, as we are the first foe, probably, to show up in Gerudo Fortress in some time, if ever. We go forward after having a lovely conversation with a couple of Gerudos on the way to the general, the person currently in charge of a lot of the functions, at least the day-to-day stuff in regards to Gerudo Fortress, when baby Ganondorf is not doing what he is not becoming more and more evil as time goes on. Speaking of baby Ganondorf, we met him, and he was intimidating. And so we
Just
faced
an
our
innocent
greatest
baby.
challenge. Yeah. So we faced our greatest challenge yet. Trying not to metagame against a 12-year-old. Afterwards, and we got permission, as long as we did them a favor, to go to investigate and return some of the water here, we were able to be released, go get up some supplies before we made the trek partially across the desert or along the mountain range in order to get to I'm going to use the word temple here, or a space here to release the water for the Gerudo.
Yeah.
We got new clothes, and we kind of stopped after getting new clothes.
Yeah. That's fine. But yeah, you are now we rejoin our heroes shortly after acquiring some new digs and just making their way out of Gerudo Fortress towards this location that has been pointed out to you by the king and being led by Tyrina. It's taken you about... So you left first thing in the morning. It's taken you about most of that morning to get to Gerudo Fortress. So you're coming up to midday on the edge of the Gerudo Desert. The sun beats down as you navigate through rocky climbs, through old, misused paths. Tyrina has had to leave behind her chariot and warhorse because there is no way that it's able to navigate this sort of area. But as you move through these areas, Tyrina takes up the lead following where she is aware the font may lie, while Mara is kind of towards the back, looking out over like whatever view could be found, or just peering around each corner that she can see, but largely keeping to herself. Tell me, folks, as you wander, what are you doing? Are you doing anything in particular, or just following Tyrina?
Do we have any beasts of burden, or do we just travel on foot?
You were all traveling on foot for the most part. Unfortunately, the Gerudo themselves don't have anything like goats or any other kind of beast of burden capable of crossing largely difficult terrain. It's not enough to slow you down in the middle of combat. It's just that it's very inconvenient for horses or camels or any other creature of that variety to maneuver through it without much difficulty. So it's just for the sake of ease. And considering how short the trip is as well, or intends to be, there's been no beasts of burden supplied.
Okay. Then I think... Oh, I should actually... I think that Renji would be kind of keeping in the back with Mara.
Okay.
Because Hikan is one of the people that doesn't suffer from being vertically challenged in such places. Hikan's... I don't know if scouting is necessarily the right word, but it's the word I'm going to use. Because I remember mention of ambush predators.
Okay. Zayden, Max, what about yourselves?
It's uncertain how much about desert environment Zayden would know, and whether he would be cautious about what creatures could lurk within.
Okay. And Max?
Once we're out of shooting range of the Gerudo Fortress,
Uh-huh.
Max will take to the sky a bit and just fly above, keep an eye out ahead.
Okay. That's the case. Hikan and Max, give me perception checks. Zayden, feel free to do either perception or nature, in order to discern what you might know about desert environments. Renji, if you are also keeping an eye out, feel free to do a perception check of your own. Otherwise, if you're just keeping with the group in order to stick close by to allies, then I don't know if
I can just go with my passive for 23, but I can also just roll the die.
it's up to you.
Well, 20.
Fate said you are taking that 23 and liking it, sir.
Thank you.
But yeah, with a 23 and a 25 perception, it's difficult to say. All of you, as you scan the environment, notice that it is largely a dead area. There's very little vegetation, if anything, and the actual rocky crags make it difficult for even things like cacti to conjure themselves here. It's just it's mostly dust and rock. You do see flying overhead in various different directions what appear to be large birds. You assume to be either vultures or condors or something that would be more at home here, but they are by themselves, just kind of slowly circling overhead. Not around you, but just in general. As those with altitude can see, you have a look about and see that there are a number of different rocky paths and crevices that spider web through these mountains. On foot, it would be easy to get lost. But as you look around, you do spy something in the distance. Max sees it first with the 16, but you see that up ahead, maybe like 1,000 or so yards. There appears to be this larger rocky outcropping that has what appears to be a large stone door in it, or at least a hole in the side of the mountain that looks manufactured as opposed to natural. But yeah, as for Zayden and Renji on ground level, one of the things that you both note, having been warned of ambush predators, you are aware that with the way things go, there's a lot of sand about.
Really?
Yeah. It's not in the sense.
Goodness.
It's
I hear that it's coarse and rough and gets everywhere.
yeah, it's awful stuff.
Well, it already is everywhere now.
Yeah. It's kind of this fine layer that sits over these stone pathways. But as you kind of like cast a glance, you notice that some of it kind of like moves slightly, but you also note that there is no breeze.
Then I would like to direct an Eldritch Blast there.
Okay. You launch an Eldritch Blast. Feel free to click the spell in order to do your attack rolls and damages and whatnot.
I shall, because we must. That's a 24 for 5. But let's also just... do I need to roll for the second and third, or do we just roll damages?
Just roll damages for now.
Okay. That is 4 and 1, so 10 damage total.
Okay. So, like this large dust cloud that goes up. Tyrina abruptly stops, reaches up to her back in order to grab her axe, and looks at you and is like, "Do you see something?"
Something was moving, and honestly, I don't want to take a chance.
Okay. Just hefts the great axe off her back. Clang. Grabs it with the other hand. Like, we better get the others down here then, maybe. Hey guys! Yeah. She calls up. Regroup!
A little lower.
Hikan jumps off from the nearest cliff and floats down safely.
I'm not gonna land, but I'm gonna circle above.
Okay.
How big was the movement of sand?
It's
small, medium, large,
small.
gargantuan?
It was like it was almost as if like a dust devil was starting to be formed. But yeah.
We were warned for Geldman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, as you kind of like stop and hold for a moment, there doesn't seem to be any immediate reaction to the appearance of this dust devil. It has since immediately stopped since you blasted it with Eldritch Blasts. But as you kind of stand and contemplate this, within a sparse moment, a whipping of sand begins in various different spots along this path. This path itself being starting to rise in a zigzag motion to a higher point in the cliffs. And as it does, large humanoid figures, half sunken into the sand, begin to emerge and look to you menacingly. And I believe with their surprise spoiled, we will go to initiative.
There we go. Let's bring this in. 3 of them.
So how far into the sky are you, Max?
I will be 40 feet.
40 feet. Okay.
And let's see. I love this theme so much.
Okay, so let's do some initiatives for the Geldman here. Okay. I couldn't hope to have rolled high for any, like, I was like 20 on initiative on one that I rolled for an NPC, unheard of. Still not enough to beat 2 people in the group, but that's fine. Let's see, where's the turn tracker on this one? It
To be fair to
is...
them, I did roll a 19.
Yeah. I need to... Descending order.
I have so far rolled on skill checks 2 10s.
Nice.
I'm curious that your modifier for your initiative is 9.4. Oh wait, because the
Tiebreaker.
tiebreaker.
14 is it really depends because Roll20 does percentages based off of the modifier. And I believe Beyond 20 does based off of the score.
Ah.
Well, ours does it based on the score too. It's just weird in between them
Yeah.
for some reason.
The main
That's
thing
fine.
is, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
Figure
works.
it
It
out.
works. That's
You
the
have
core
the
thing.
highest initiative bonus, and that's all that's for is for tiebreakers for us.
Yeah.
So
It gives us different numbers.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and see if I can edit that somewhere.
Okay, so with initiative all set, first up is Zayden, followed by Max, followed by the Geldman, followed by Renji, followed by Tyrina, followed by Hikan, and finally Mara last. So, Zayden, what do you do?
Ooh, are Geldmen just straight up monsters, or are they sentient in any way?
Give me either give me an Arcana or Nature check.
Both a +5. Nature. 15.
Okay, with a 15, you would think so. What you understand of Geldmen is that they are largely elemental creatures, but they have been known to have something of a malicious streak. They're basically personified quicksand, and their prerogative is to effectively bury things and people. Of course, it's difficult to say whether or not they might be reasoned with, but given that these ones were lying in ambush for you, it's not likely that they are.
Okay. Too far apart for that. Right, I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. So what I will do is I will... Sidon will raise up his mighty staff as a shimmer of frost fills the air, and a storm of ice will flash down on these two.
Okay,
And I'll draw a box.
thank you. The box is
Right.
appreciated.
especially need to because it creates difficult terrain.
Oh.
There may be more
There's
boxes
something.
in this fight.
From that corner to that corner.
So
I
many
might be
bugs.
able to also add a box. I don't know if it's useful though.
Oh my god, boxes. Let's go.
Okay.
That's one too far, but that's...
Oh, I need to think about a physics thing.
Well, with all these boxes, Hikan pulls out a lawn chair and just kind of... I'm kidding.
It
Don't
would not
worry,
surprise
don't
me
worry. My
based off of
my
what we
box
know
will
of your
not be on the
master.
ground.
Hey, I've changed my ways. I'm sober.
I mean, that doesn't mean that you change everything. Like, you're still the happy-go-lucky Hikan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rock hard ice. Okay. All right. So, you bring forth this ice storm upon these two creatures. There is a cacophonous noise as these blocks of ice the size of basketballs descend from on high and hit into these creatures. There is... from the looks of it, because they are largely made of sand, it's clear that the blunt force of these blocks of ice is not what is hurting them, it's the cold. But... oh, it would also help if I actually rolled their dex saves. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Fail and fail. Yeah, they take that damage as expected. Okay. Cool. And this and over this like steadily rising terrain, as you can see, there is just now a sheet of thick ice that is difficult to stand upon. In fact, I would say, as at a glance, as it kind of occurs to you, you think that this the slick ice that now covers this ground, effectively acts as a barrier to stop them from possibly sinking back into the earth, because there's ice there. They can't dig through that. So that was
Yeah.
your.
It'll hurt their fingies.
That
That's
was
my
their-
main action.
Yep.
And
anything
then-
you'd like to do?
I will transform into an earth elemental.
Oh my god, sand versus rocks.
Sand versus rocks, indeed. And what rock can do is it can follow them underground if they try to run away.
Yeah.
But, just 1, 2, 3. And get to like there on the slope.
Okay. Grand. Max.
Okay. Fly a bit more north to see around the ice thing, and also a bit higher.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna also draw a box. Box time. Yeah. There?
Okay.
Yes. 20 by 20, 40 by 40, sorry.
Yeah.
Red sphere. Okay. It's not much bludgeoning damage, but it probably doesn't matter, but that's okay, because I'm getting it for the lightning.
That's fine.
And the height of it is the same as this level of sand.
Got it.
So it's not going
Nice.
down to here.
So for the sake of quick reference, each level goes up about 5 feet.
Okay.
So that would be 10
Oh,
foot off
okay.
the where you're starting.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna hit the one that's in both boxes with a lightning strike.
Okay.
And the sun sphere. 20 to hit for 19 lightning damage.
Yes.
Does it turn into glass?
I hope so.
Glass elemental.
It hasn't hit 0 hit points, unfortunately, no.
Oh, boo.
But yeah, you summon forth your mighty sphere of storms, blustering, powerful gale, manifesting upon this desert path, and then a crack of lightning as you strike this one Geldman, who is like, you can see like constituent parts of it just singe and blast away as it steadily tries to reform itself. But yeah, you've done quite a grievous amount of damage. Well done.
Yay.
Hey.
And done.
It's the Geldman's turns. So let's see. Each creature in the sphere when it appears or at the end of its turn, take 2 seconds. Okay. So the sphere is difficult terrain. How far can these things move? So this Geldman in the north is going to slide across the ground and down this slope in order to get here. They can't reach you, Max, you're too high up. But they will, in fact, they will take the dash action in order to put themselves here to engage you two, but can't attack. The Geldman that is by itself in the storm sphere is going to burrow underground in order to maneuver itself to a different spot.
I do have tremor sense, so I know where it is.
Yeah, so it's you can sense that it's moved south just to be out of the box, but still fairly close to everyone else. The Geldman that has been brutally attacked on multiple fronts is going to move one space. Actually, he's going to not burrow underground, but is going to try and get out of here. So that's 20 feet to get out of the ice thing. Does it have to make a save to fall over?
No, it's just difficult terrain.
Okay, so 20 feet, and then another 20 feet there. So that would be... So that'd be 5, 10, 15, 20 there. So it gets... I don't know why it's even moving that way. It's going to slide down here, next to its buddy here. And then this one's going to... You basically utilize all of its movement to get right up in your face, Zayden. It's going to say, screw it, it's ice, I can take this. Slide up to you. And then it's going to utilize its attacks. It doesn't have any movement left, so it can't replace one of its slam attacks with an engulf action. So instead, it's just going to try and hit you twice. 13
Nope.
and 24.
Yes.
Okay, so
Is its attacks magical or not? Most monsters apparently aren't actually magically attacked unless they specifically say otherwise. It's weird.
But things like bludgeoning damage have to specifically say if they're magical or not.
Okay, then no. It is basically hitting you with compacted sand.
That's fair. So minus round up 7.
So that would be the Geldman's go, as far as you know. Renji.
Very well. Do I know which of the Geldman I attacked?
It doesn't appear to be any of these ones.
The one that went underground.
No, even that one, it doesn't appear to be that one. Your attack landed here.
Interesting.
Are there more?
That may be the case.
I have 60 feet of tremor sense.
Move over here.
If you have 60 feet of tremor sense, then yes. You know that there is still one there. You know that there is one here, and you know that there is one here.
What was that third one?
Over here on the far side.
Okay, well, Zyda would have cautioned his allies about the ones underground then with telepathy.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Renji is going to do the very simple strike once, 23. Actually, apologies. Um,
You have super advantage.
I
I
have
was
super
going to say,
advantage.
is this
So that's a
creature considered
25
flying?
total.
Mm-hmm.
And since Max is high up in the air and is not next to me, that is with sneak attack damage.
I am 60 feet away from you.
You're also
That-
flanking with Tyrina at this point.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's just advantage. Yeah, that's fair.
anytime your sneak attack still procs normally too if you have an ally within 5 feet of you,
Yeah.
and you don't
Yeah.
have disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right.
You just get to
You just
also do
can
it if
do
you
it
don't
on
have
your
an ally.
own.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so that is 28 points of damage
Okay.
in one hit. And I would like... Where is it? I would like to use Slashing Flourish on this,
Okay.
which is I expend a Bardic Inspiration, and I roll 1d8 extra damage. And that's 4 damage.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, no, this is not Slashing Flourish. This is a
Global
defensive flourish, which
yeah.
does add the same amount of damage, but also raises my armor class by 4
Okay.
for now. Because Slashing Flourish does extra damage to an adjacent enemy.
Sounds good. Is
And that's my first attack,
mm-hmm.
which I realize there is another. And that is super advantage. 19.
Okay. Well, 19 hits.
That is 10 damage.
Okay.
Which is a poor showing. Oh, no worries.
That's all good. But yeah, well done. You like swiftly maneuver around behind this skeleton and like cut away at the thing. The heated blade of aspiration singeing much of the sand that is cut from the larger mass. That was movement. That was attack. Do you have anything you can do as a bonus action if you haven't used it yet?
Not at this moment that I want to do.
Okay. In that case, Tyrina. Tyrina is just going to do Old Faithful and is going to swing her axe as hard as fucking possible at this thing. Just widens her stance, brings the axe up, and then brings it back down. I hope it has been a while since I've opened. So I'm hoping.
It should be. She had Great Weapon Master before she left. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, with a nat 1, she is unable to hit the.
She does have advantage because of the Renji, but yeah, still an 8.
They're still an 8. Yeah. That's fine. That's okay.
So is she not leveled up at all since we last saw it?
No, she's leveled up. It's just that I
Oh,
don't.
good.
wanna-
I was very concerned then that she was going to take one hit and die.
No, she's fine. She's got plenty of hit points. It's just that I didn't want her to have to do the same thing she did when she was with the party and just nat 20 face roll every combat. So so it's just I'm only giving her 1 attack at this moment. But when she does hit, she will hit like a truck. But yeah. And because she is a paladin, she does have aura of protection. Her charisma modifier is a +4, so you do have a +4 to your saves while in her presence.
I believe that's within 10
That
feet
is
at
always
the moment.
nice.
Yeah, she's 1 level too low for it to be 30 feet, sadly. But it's, yeah. But yeah. So that will be Tyrina's turn. Hikan,
Cool. Alright, this guy's here. So I'm just gonna. That's a sandwich. I'm gonna stay where I'm at, and I'm gonna punch this guy a couple of times.
Okay.
What we're gonna do though. 25 for 9. And 29 for 9 more.
Okay. So before you get on to your bonus action possibilities, I
Mhm.
will say, you are the first person to have thus far hit a Geldman with anything with a bludgeoning attack, or of the normal things. You are noting that as you punch through, it is just like punching actual sand and like putting your fist through a non-contiguous mass. You don't think you're actually doing any damage to it.
Does that include magical bludgeoning damage? Because monk.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent. I cannot. I have to do unarmed strikes with flurry of blows. I'm reading this particular ability. Give me a second. Hit a creature. Okay. So if that's the case, I am going to. I'm gonna go make myself a target, and I'm going to. How tall is an earth elemental?
Big.
They're large size, so I think they're somewhere in the range of like 10 to 15 feet tall at minimum.
Okay, so I spend a key point, and you'll have to tell me how much of this is shenanigans.
All of it.
And the average height
100%.
4 to 40 feet.
4 to 40 feet.
Yeah.
So, with Step of the Wind spent, my long jump is 24 feet horizontally. My high jump is 8 feet off the ground. I'm not trying to clear anything.
Yeah.
And you can reach and grab up to something of 17 feet off the ground.
Right.
So what I want to do is, since I use Step of the Wind, I have a 10-foot running start.
Yeah.
So I can jump and then spring off of Zidon. And if I can do that from Zidon, 25 feet puts me here.
I'd allow it.
All right. So this guy next to me would get an attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to disengage.
Natural 20 for 17.
Yeah, that hits. Now that hits. So I'll spring off of Zidon.
It hits, but does it also give you a speed boost?
I got hit for movement.
Yeah!
Yeah, so
Take damage
actually,
to save time!
Damage
Actually.
boosting.
right there is the exact end of my movement.
Okay.
Then I will spend another key point, because I haven't dashed. I just have my stuff, my jump distance tripled, to do Flurry of Blows, to hit this guy once. It will be bludgeoning damage, if it does hit, but does a 22 hit?
Yes. Easily.
Okay. Easily. Excellent. So then he also takes 8 necrotic damage if that does anything, and is considered poisoned if he can be poisoned.
Unfortunately,
He's sand, so I doubt it.
he cannot be poisoned, but you do note that the necrotic damage is doing something to it. It is taking, like, you can see that some of the sand itself is just. How do you describe decay of sand? Can't, can you?
Turns black.
Yeah, I guess that has to be it. Like, it just kind of like becomes more akin to ash than actual sand, and falls away from the rest of the form. It's like taken away so it can't be reconstituted into what it once was. But you do know that definitely hurts it. At full tilt, the necrotic damage hits. It's just the bludgeoning damage does not.
Excellent. But I wanted to sit there and do that and not waste a thing. Since I got hit, I have a reason to do my hand of healing to
Nice.
bump myself up a little bit. Yes. Also, I forgot this is difficult terrain. I have to make a DC 10 acrobatics check. My acrobatics is plus 10, so
Yeah,
I
you're
do
fine.
just want to make sure that the stuff's there.
Yeah, that's okay.
Congratulations, you pass.
But that's turn. That's everything that I can do.
No
That's-
contest.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, I would allow it anyway because I have set you up against a series of creatures that are very much like tanky against your damage type. Yeah.
Be fair. I can pull out the Javelin of Lightning and have piercing damage instead
You could very much
for
do
2
that.
of my attacks.
I'm not sure that'll be much better.
Me neither.
Yeah, so, if that's the case, Mara's turn. Mara will observe the whole sand issue, and she will spend her turn looking through her bag and then pulling out what appears to be a fairly sizable, like, potion bottle-esque, like a glass gourd almost, that is filled with a clear liquid, which she will then attempt to hurl at the Geldman. She's going to utilize the same attack modifier as a hand axe, so 12 does not hit. It sails overhead and smashes on the rock behind Renji. But she will declare, "Try soaking them! It compacts sand!" And that will be her turn. Zayden.
Okay. Being given this information, Zidon will turn back, because
Yep.
put there. And then I need to measure. What's a 30-foot cube would be this far, so I could get these two. Or is this better? 30 gallons versus 10 gallons effect. But they cannot dodge if I do this. So what Zidon will do is... Actually, this is better if I'm going to go for just the two of them. Where do I put it? I am going to cast Tidal Wave upon these two.
Oh,
Zidon, hearing Mara's warning, will pull towards the water himself from that broken glass, and it will multiply and multiply out into a wave of water rushing down at these two.
Do dex saves for because the moment they
Sitting a bit far from your mic now.
Oh. There we go.
there we go.
I leaned forward. I game
Yeah.
leaned in order to make sure I could see the map properly. Yeah. Did their dex saves in order to make sure that to see whether or not they took half or full damage. They take the full damage with a 15 and a 2. The water compacts with them. And will tear away chunks of them as they become more akin to solid mass. So they will take the 14 bludgeoning damage from the tidal wave, and I will mark them as being damp.
Also, the water exists and flows out in all directions, maybe getting to that guy?
I mean,
Because we
it
got
is
the
at the
slope
top
right
of the
here.
hill, so it gets to that way and then flows backwards. It depends on whether or not your magical ice is cold enough in order to cause it to freeze.
Well, the magical ice leaves at the end of this turn now,
Oh yeah, that's fair.
and it's like cubes rather than a full sheet, so...
Yeah. I need to find an appropriate symbol that's good for noting this down. The one I haven't used.
Maybe just the blue
before.
circle.
Yeah, blue circle works. There we go. Yeah, so you do that, you send forth this tidal wave of water. I'm going to roll a percentile to see whether or not the Geldman that the others are fighting will suffer the effects. High or low? Yeah,
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. Fuck it, I'll roll it publicly.
Ah.
Fortunately not. While the water is building, it will not impede them on the next turn, giving them the opportunity to avoid it if necessary. But the other two are certainly wet and vulnerable to the more mundane types of damage, even magical, which is, yeah, that's the big advantage now. Max! Oh, unless you had anything else you wanted to do on your turn, Zayden.
Bonus to change back. That was main action. Get rid of this cube, and I will actually step forward to make sure Hikan has punching extra powers later.
Okay.
I mean, it's only just going to come towards me anyway.
Yeah. Awesome. Max!
Well, that one, the spy Zayden.
Mm-hmm.
First, bonus action.
Yep.
24 for 16 lightning damage from a snow sphere.
Yep.
Second, do I really want to use a high level spell?
With it being damp, get bonus lightning damage.
Status effect, moist. Sorry, status effect, moist.
No. Banned. Get out.
Do you have something against the word moist?
It's not. I don't mind moist as much as most people, but when you lean into the microphone and say it so
Yeah.
sensually, it drives expectations in odd directions that is not suitable for.
Yeah, no, I can't hit the one right next to me
Yeah,
from
sorry.
this height.
Yeah.
But can I get those two?
Yes, I'd say that you
Yeet.
could angle it appropriately.
Lightning bolt! Stack saves for 36 lightning damage.
Fail and fail.
Oh, your DC's high.
Yeah.
We gotta get you a DC increasing magic item.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you swoop down, seeing your opportunity. You call forth lightning from the sphere to blast one of the Geldmen, and then
just split it.
yeah, and follow it up. It's yeah. There's barely any sand in this in like the forms of these Geldmen. They are on their last legs. And speaking,
Cool. Done.
yeah, Geldman's turn. So, the Geldmen that are currently in combat with Zayden and Hikan, normally they would try their best in order to, like, move forward to engulf you and suffocate you, but they can't really do that while it's damp sandcastle making sand. So they're just going to try and hit you twice. So we'll do Hikan first. So 14 and 18, neither of those hit.
Or misses. Yeah.
Then for Zayden, 10 and 16, I doubt either of those hit.
Nope.
Okay. Then it is the Geldman fighting Renji and Tyrina. Seeing the threat that is Renji, the Geldman is going to attempt to first strike you. 17 probably doesn't hit.
No, it's about add 9 more.
Yeah. And then it will take an opportunity attack from Tyrina, as it will then move in its space. It is hit, but only takes the 1 radiant damage.
So it's immune to slashing too?
Yeah, bludgeoning,
Wait, no,
piercing,
it's
and
undead.
slashing. While it
Are these
is,
undead?
Hmm?
Are these undead?
Oh, they're not. So it doesn't take any hit. Poor Tyrina.
Well, you were worried about her stealing our kill, so...
Yeah, I guess.
No, she
I
actually
guess.
can't.
She can't. She's incapable of doing so for now.
No.
But the Geldman will... I'll send it to the back so it's not going to be on top of your model. There we go. It will move forward to try and engulf you. I need a strength saving throw.
Oh, I am not good at those. I only have a +1 to those. And that's a 10 +1.
Okay, so you take 4 bludgeoning damage.
No,
And you are
how- Cope.
restrained and immobile.
That is actually worse. That is definitely worse.
Oh no.
Um,
You're being hugged to death.
Also, did we level up again? And
We're 16. So if you're-
yeah. So I'm not going to touch my character sheet on roll 20 because it'll crash. But I technically am at 127.
okay, that's fine.
I have 131 HP.
Okay, but yeah, the Gelman moves forward and tries to like pull you into its form and crush you in it. So you take 4
I do not
bludgeoning
like
damage
this.
and are held there. The other Geldman, who now that Zayden doesn't have tremor sense anymore, move somewhere, and that will be their turn for now. Renji.
Yeah. So
So as an action,
You can attempt to escape.
yeah.
strength save. I need to roll a 13 or higher, which I don't like.
Come on, a number that isn't a 10.
Mm-hmm.
You're not.
It's not a 10!
Ah.
You. Okay. I was gonna say, you're not blinded, so you could have Misty stepped.
Oh shit.
Fudge. I can still do so. I think I actually will do so. I'll have spent my action on this. As an action, yeah. So it is Misty Step as I move. Probably here.
Okay. You disappear from the Gelban and reappear free and back into the world. But yeah, so that was your bonus action. Did you want to like move anywhere? Or stay where you are for now?
I think I'll stay where I am for now.
Okay. All right. That's the case. Tyrina, realizing that her options are fairly limited, is going to hold. She's going to move here and hold her action until someone hits this thing with water. And then Hikan. Then I'll die on the. Still low. Still okay for now.
That technically goes through Zayden Square. So if I go here instead, that doesn't. But it does go through all 3 Geldman squares. Okay. So Hikan's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 to this square, pull out the Javelin of Lightning, and yeet it at this Geldman all the way over here.
Okay.
Yeet. So that's a 14 to hit to this Geldman.
Which is not enough to hit it.
Okay.
But they still need to do a dex save in order to.
Yeah. All 3 of them need to do dex saves to get the thing.
One passes, one fails, another fails. So we'll say that the one in front of you manages to kind of wiggle away a bit and only takes the what's the word? Only takes 6 lightning damage, but the others take the full 11. And the javelin impales itself into the ground here.
Now that it's wet, I'm gonna try punching it one more time.
Okay.
15 for 11?
15 does not hit, sadly.
Ooh.
I'll just do a regular unarmed strike. 22 for 14.
That is enough to hit it. And you can see as you take away this last bit of health, there is barely any Geldmen left. Still enough to be something of a threat, but you feel like with another strike, a well-placed strike, you'd be able to basically deconstitute it enough that it gives up.
Good to know. I'm just gonna... Let's see. So I used 5, 10, 15. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of things. I'll go stand over here next to the next design so I can get an opportunity to attack if it wants.
Okay. Tries to strike you with wet sand and fails.
Cool. Alright.
Okay. Is that everything on your turn?
Yep.
Cool. Mara will move here in order to try and throw another gourd of water at this thing. Wow, and misses again. She's not having a good time. But yeah, she'll kind of just curse under her breath and continue, like basically taking out the entire alchemy kit. Anything that is vaguely liquid, just taking out, throwing it. Proper Moonlight random shit go stuff. But yeah, unfortunately she's unable to hit the skeleton. Zayden.
Okay. Zayden will move one step to the left here. And we'll repeat what he did before, grabbing magically her gourd of water out of the air, bursting it open for another tidal wave on these two.
Okay, so the Geldman right next to you
That's a lot more bludgeoning this time.
fails. The Geldman at the bottom mega fails.
Mega failure.
As you pull the water back and like bring it back down in a forceful jet, this Geldman next to you explodes in a pile of sand and is no more. The one at the bottom is hit
It has
with
ceased to be.
It ceases to be.
It is pining for the fjords.
Ironic. But yeah, the one at the bottom is hit hard by the water. It still remains standing, but it is now also damp, which allows Tyrina in her reaction to heft her great axe and try and strike the thing, which is not enough to hit. This never happens. It's like every time I do like friendly NPC stuff, they're always getting really good rolls, and then the bad guys are doing badly, and now things have changed. What's happening? I'm scared. But yeah.
It's okay, Tyrina. It happens to us all.
Still getting used to the armor. But yeah, congrats. What do you want to do now?
Zayden will rush back down to Mara's side. I don't know whether I can do it with a bonus action or if I can simply point it out, but I will offer the decant of endless water I have to her.
Soundtrack interaction.
Yeah. She will happily take it.
I would suggest most likely this will be the useful one to use each turn.
Yep.
Because even if she misses, I think they're going to get soaked.
Yeah.
I have provided you, Mara, with a super soaker.
This particular super soaker is banned in most states.
Oh dear. Okay. Cool. So you've action to tidal wave, move, object interaction to hand over the decanter. Do you have a bonus action you want to or can do?
Do I have any bonus action spells? I don't think so. There's very few of them. No, I'm good.
Okay. If that is the case, Max, it is your turn.
I can do another Stone Sphere strike. I'm gonna do it on the one south of the box.
Okay.
It doesn't have any friends right now.
Cool.
19 for 12.
That one explodes in a shower of sand, and what mound is left there is immediately like slagged to become a pile of miscellaneous glass that just
How
kind
tall
of
is
remains
this
there.
guy?
The one next to you?
Yeah.
Around about 12 feet tall from like
Okay.
the waist
Okay.
up.
I can drop down to 10. Shocking punch. 24 for 16.
Nice, that hits.
It doesn't get reaction, so I fly back up to 20 feet
Yeah.
and move away.
Nice. Okay.
That's me done.
Cool. The Geldman in question, shocked and wet and everything, will turn to Tyrina in order to try and strike at the nearest thing. 20 accuracy is enough to hit her, but the properties of her armor, the solid hit bounds off and like a plate falls from the armor that reduces the damage to her actual physical person to nothing.
Excellent.
Yeah. But yeah, in the meantime, go to the gem layer. Emerging from the sand, from what little sand there is in this area now, is another Geldman, who will have used his movement to get to that point, and will use a dash action to get here, but can't attack. Renji.
I will move here. That is. Oh, is there? Okay. That's 25 feet of movement. I will do a regular 2 attacks. Only an 18?
That still hits.
Okay. That is 34.
Okay.
And
With-
second attack.
With that damage, you cut through and like basically cut it into clean slices as it then falls apart before you,
Okay.
taking this Geldman off the board.
And then I will dash over here and do the same. That is a critical hit for a total of, let's see, 23 points of damage.
Okay.
That one is a crit on a 19, so I don't know if that's...
It crits. It is a crit. I didn't say it's a natural
Okay.
20.
Okay, good.
Doesn't it have to be cursed for you to crit on 19s?
Oh, right. Then it's only 16. Sorry.
That's okay.
Because I can't curse it.
That's fine.
Good, but do you want to curse it?
Curse a Geldman?
Oh dear. Okay.
Yes, it's a
Crank.
reference.
You slice into this one, much like the ones before. This one being fresh is just flecks of sand are removed, but it is still reconstituting itself. Tyrina on her go will move up and prepare an action to strike when it is wet. Hikan?
Okay, yeah. Easy. Easy. Right here. So what type of action would it be to make this thing wet with something in my inventory? Would that be an attack? Would that be a full action? Would that be an object interaction?
I'd say it would be an action that counts as an attack.
Okay, excellent. So I pull out some poisoned beer that I've been carrying around for a while.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And just pop it open with my teeth and spill it over the Geldman.
Okay.
I need to remove this somehow. I'll remove it later. So you would like me to make an attack roll, I presume?
Yes, please.
Okay. 29.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright. So now it is wet, and I can bludgeon it. So I shall bludgeon it. 25 for 9 bludgeoning.
That hits.
Was Tyrina holding her action after she moved?
Yes.
Alright. So... I don't know if it getting wet was her trigger.
It was. But I can allow you to go through the rest of your stuff if you want to.
I'm gonna save my key, actually. So I'll just do another one for 11 more.
Okay. And then on her go, oh well, and her reaction kicks off. She brings down the axe again. Still just not enough in order to hit. Clearly still getting used to the armor.
Look, you can just buff her if you really want to. We don't want to
She has more than one attack. She can stop holding back.
I know, but like, I don't want to give her
Believe in you,
like,
Tyrina.
an inferiority complex. Any more than she already has.
Yeah, it's kind of the entire reason she left.
Yes. It makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's okay. The thing's still got plenty of health. She'll get it next time. And then Mara's go. She will, seeing that you've already taken care of it, will draw her mace and try and strike at the thing. 22 for 8 plus 16 lightning. So that is 24 total damage to the Geldman. Just kind of like stows the decanter briefly, brings out the mace, and then wildly swings. Impacts with the wet sand and crackles, taking away a chunk of itself. Zayden.
Zayden will hold that. Move here, and then hold that action to cast Create or Destroy Water in rain form on the next Geldman that appears.
Nice. Okay. That's pretty...
I was remarkably prepared for this.
Yeah.
What? Water's helpful in the desert?
I know, right?
Whoever
Like, I
would
had
have
the decanter of endless water. I was like, I should have other options for water.
Yeah. Okay. Grant, so if you're holding your action, Max.
Well, I still have a storm sphere, so
Mm-hmm.
do the thing, storm sphere. 23 for 18.
That hits for 18 lightning damage.
Then I'm gonna join the guys. And punch it for 25 for 15.
Nice. Yeah. You you strike it after it. It's just it has been pummeled into the floor with lightning by this point.
It's having a bad day,
Yeah.
and I have made it worse, and I don't care.
Is that I do not apologize.
Yeah. Anyway, my turn done.
Okay. Gelman's go. Gelman that you can see and is there and is doing things is going to utilize its 2 attacks in order to try and strike once at Renji, once at Hikan, the 2 individuals who have harmed it. Well, who are in immediate melee range that you can see and who harmed it first. But a 17 is not going to hit Renji, and a 15 is not going to hit Hikan, so that would be its go there. As for the remaining Geldman, one of them does apparate out of the sand right there, at which point Zayden's held action triggers.
I'm gonna get all of us wet as well, because that would probably make it harder for it to engulf any of us.
Yeah, probably.
Everybody, sorry if you don't like being wet,
Hey,
too bad.
You're gonna have to deal with water splashing everywhere where Max's wings flap, so
Yeah.
Already soaked. Okay,
When
yeah,
Zayden's done, it's no longer a desert. Yes, we have
we are creating the
green
Gerudo.
belt.
We're creating the Gerudo Ocean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, theoretically, because I have control weather prepared, I can also cause torrential rain for 8 hours.
Yeah.
I think that takes a while though.
Yeah.
Torrential rain for like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. but since
The
this went
Gerudo like, oh my god, best day ever.
since this apparated out of the sand right next to you guys, while it is wet, it won't be able to engulf anybody because it has no movement left either. It's going to take a strike at Zayden and a strike at Tyrina. So Zayden misses, Tyrina hits for 14, which again knocks off the ablative plate, leaving her otherwise unharmed. And that will be their turn. Renji.
Yes. I think it best to focus on this one. And you know, I will curse him. Hexbait's curse upon you. And then 1. That is a natural 20.
Nice.
So with sneak attack,
Uh-huh.
that is going to be, let's see, everything but undead damage is, let's see, undead damage is 12, and in total,
It's a nice amount of damage.
that is a nice amount of damage.
Oh my god.
16.
69.
That is
Nice.
43 more than you needed.
Oh, okay.
It just dissolves.
So that means it's very nice then.
Yeah.
Yes. And then with my movement, I'm swipe over there.
Okay.
And I am going to attack for 23,
That hits.
and I will do 17 points of. I wish I could have rolled that on my sneak attack. My goodness. Though I did that, almost roll that on my sneak attack critical damage just now. So 17 damage, radiant.
Nice. You cut through into this one. It's still kind of losing chunks of itself amidst the rainfall.
Is it close to?
Close to death? It's the first damage it's taken.
Oh right, okay. Actually, I'll just add a defensive flourish on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is actually I can do this. Wait, no. Huh? Oh, that's a 3. Sorry. 3 points of damage, and my AC is now 25 for this round.
Okay. Sounds good.
25? What is this, Pathfinder?
This
let's
is
see.
a broken build.
Yeah. Okay. Grand. Tyrina's go. Will she hit something? That is the question. And the answer
Yeah,
is...
too bad Renji already used his bonus action. Could have given her Bardic Inspiration.
Ah!
She will move over here to be on this side to get advantage in some way, shape, or form. 23 for 15 plus 2. She's going to smite
Hell
this
yeah.
motherfucker.
Get it.
Let's see.
Smite.
So she adds an additional 31 radiant damage as she uses a 4th level spell slot to smite it.
Yeah.
So that is...
Remember, paladins, what are spell slots for? Smites.
So that would be 50
Rock
as a
spite.
just kind of like slowly massive explosion of radiant energy as it cuts through this creature's body, taking away a massive chunk of sand. Just in the midst of it, like it's raining, just this like metallic from behind the helmet. Fuck, that felt good. Just like we're doing this, let's go. It's just like immediately bam back to Tyrina.
Hell
I missed
yeah.
my chalk, buddy.
But yeah, that will be Tyrina's go. Hikan.
I'll go over here. I won't punch this guy a few times. That is 24 for 14.
That is a hit.
That is 24 for 14.
That is a hit.
And one more. That's 20 for 8. 22 for 8.
That is a hit.
Alright. Yeah, no one's hurt, so, like, except me. I'm a little hurt, but I'm fine.
Yeah. You've barely taken any damage. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nice. It still remains standing, but it is very much on its last legs. Leaving only Mara's turn at the end of the round. Takes up the mace, prepares to swing it. 18 for a total of 17 damage, which is exactly the number she needed to take this thing down.
Yeah.
Just in a panicked flail, is like seeing the thing behind her, just brings it up, and like the mace makes contact as to where the chin would be on the Geldman, and just it's a fountain of wet sand and lightning sparks before it falls unmoving. As you stand amidst the rain that is pouring from on high thanks to Zaiden's Create Water spell, you wait for a good while before realizing that nothing else will be out to attack you just yet, and we leave initiative. It's possible that the other Geldman, seeing the amount of water that's nearby, just immediately on tap, has just left.
I will pick up the javelin and...
They saw all the water and heard all the explosions and saw the big flash of light and were like, nah.
We were not prepared for this!
You guys can breathe.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good idea to ambush, and I have rescinded my decision.
I go pick up the javelin and pick up the plate parts that have fallen off Tyrina's armor. I don't know if these are supposed to go back on, but I can help with that real quick.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. You'll stow the axe and just kind of stretch underneath the armor. Mara will hand the decanter of endless water back to Zai and say, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd also happily help with mending.
Sure. There's no need to roll anything for this. It's like with Tyrina's instruction, she tells you how and where to hook things back onto where they go, and she's more or less good as new after a couple of minutes of finagling.
Max frowns at his damp clothes and says, "This is not meant to be damp."
It really isn't.
They'll show off your figure.
I'm fairly sure
A what?
prestidigitation can undamp clothes.
Oh yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Max squints at you as if to say, "Shut up! I thought of that. Shut up."
I know prestidigitation. Shut up! I can do this.
Now Biden doesn't, so he just is like, whatever, I'm wet for like 3 minutes till it dries off.
Mm-hmm.
Do it again, it feels nice.
Biden will
You-
blast Hikan with Geyser from the decanter of endless water.
Prestidigitate. Geyser. Prestidigitate.
Yeah, but the guys
Like
are
every about every like half hour of in-game time, Hikan just pours the decanter of endless water on himself.
Good way. Good way.
Yeah.
That's how I got through the Gerudo fucking Fortress and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, that works. That very much works. But yeah. As everything kind of calms down and stuff, Tyrina will just kind of like look up the path and says, well, we should be almost there.
Yeah, I think I saw something up ahead that might look like it might be it.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Then let's carry on. With that, she will continue heading forwards. and it does take a good hour or so to get there. But after a moment, you do manage to find the building that, or at least Tyrina points out that this is the building that you need to look for. It's not so much a hole in the side of the building as it is a giant waterway, like this big, massive sort of trough that's designed possibly to let water spill forward and into a winding cut ravine that sits between the mountains. You presume back to where that big crevasse where the bridge to Gerudo Fortress was. Most of the building is cut into the side of this mountain, much like Gerudo Fortress was, with a series of like flat worked stone that then kind of melds into the rough natural rock. I'll actually bring you onto the map in question.
Yay, maps!
More maps.
I'm hoping it actually does things. There we go.
It does.
Yeah.
It's just that we're on the very far corner of it, and I needed to get there.
Yeah.
Let me.
It's a
bring this
big
up.
map, so you might need to do a bit of reorientation.
Big map. You are beautiful.
Okay, so to verify, just where it is, this is the waterway,
Yeah.
and that's the entrance.
Yes. There appears, as you can see, there appears to be a set of double wooden doors that head into the mountain, and there is the waterway is there, which is a good 50 feet from the nearest ground level. That is there. It is quite the structure, to say the least.
So do we go in the front door or do we go through the waterway?
Does this look like the tower we had visions of, or not?
No.
No,
it
this is the like scratch their back, they'll scratch ours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I can take a look down the waterway, see if it's safe.
I don't think I can really easily help.
I'm just gonna take a look.
Okay. I'll
Bye.
I'll join and try and see if I can stay
So look
in.
down, see if there's anything
eyeshot.
immediate. I'm just looking to see if there's anything immediately here.
As you look inside, you can see not terribly far. It's very much outside of the light. You can see as far as your dark vision lets you without getting inside. But what you do see is like a wide expanse of old stone that has been worn away and broken by possibly generations of constantly being funneling water in this direction. And there are two walkways on either side that possibly allow people to stand on.
Can I see or hear any sign of critters?
Give me a perception check.
19.
Can't seem to see or hear anything moving around side.
Also, how high up is it from the ground here?
50 feet.
Fly back over and say, looks clear.
We can get up that way if we want, or we could go in through the door.
Yeah, it's probably easier.
Do keep in mind, this is going to be our water temple. As such.
But it's just like, what's the significance of that? Not being a Sheikah.
Honestly, I also don't know.
So I guess we go up to the rocks here and look to see if there's any traps in this intervening space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to do
Yeah,
the
I'm fine with
perception
that.
thing? Oh no!
I'm just looking further ahead.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
I do see some skeletons. I'm gonna see if there's anything near the skeletons.
Just in case I finally roll higher than a 10 on a skill check today.
Yeah.
18.
Okay.
13. I'm still thinking I should just go up the waterway. I can make it.
I mean, we can all get up there quite.
Mhm.
It's not too hard.
The two of us could just get up there and throw ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrina
no,
probably have to
Zayden
go
has,
the long
like-
way.
No, Zayden has like 50 feet or 70 feet of ladder.
A ladder.
rope
Yeah, we
ladder.
can use a ladder.
Yeah. But it's more of a case of like Tyrina
When
would
we
still
come
have...
out,
Hmm?
when we're coming out and there's water, then I want the front door open.
Yeah. I was going to say, Tyrina would be the only one who probably couldn't join you because of the iron knuckle armor.
Yeah.
That's not a big issue.
It's roughly like 100 or so pounds of raw metal that restricts movement.
Probably more.
Irene, we need you to be a rabbit for a few seconds.
What? But yeah. So the with your perception,
Everyone else
checks,
got to have a turn turning into animals. Now it's yours.
with the perception check, you don't seem to find anything that would suggest traps. The skeletons themselves appear humanoid in shape, and you would need to spend a fair amount of time and possibly a medicine check of up close examination to see how they died, if anything. But it doesn't appear to be anything that might have been immediately in this area. It might just be that this largely flat expanse of sand and dirt was just cleared out for the sake of making a decent entrance for the actual building itself.
I'll land next to the skeleton, see if it has anything like notes. Is it an environmental storytelling skeleton?
You spy the rusted remains of some Gerudo weaponry, like old Gerudo weaponry, but whatever else it had on it probably decayed with time.
Okay. It should be on the floor.
Can I see if the door is trapped?
Give me a perception check.
Happily. That's only a 20.
You examine the door. You don't believe it to be trapped, and you also do not believe it to be locked.
Then I carefully open. Oh,
May I help?
Apparently there's a button to open character, but I thought there was also going to be a button to open the door.
I would like to help with picking any locks
There you go.
Ooh.
because I have the skill.
I also have the skill.
Does anyone else feel safer when they're standing near Tyrina?
I have noticed this, yes. There seems to be an aura of some sort.
Alright, everybody gather around Tyrina as we walk through the dungeons.
Max just keeps walking.
Yeah. So, you enter this room. It's a fairly large area. There appears to be the remnants of bits and pieces of old furniture just tucked away in the corners. The whole place has been ravaged by time. The room also contains what appear to be a pair of like troughs or baths with a simple drainage system underneath them and these taps. It's possible that they were used specifically to be filled with water. From possibly from the font itself, but otherwise, yeah, it's they are just filled with dust and debris at this point.
I think.
I feel confident. Okay.
Oh, no, you feel confident? That's
I
good.
was gonna say, I feel confident in my abilities. I tried the door. Is it locked?
It is not locked.
Alright. I open the door.
What?
God.
Okay. You see into this room. It does appear to be another like area of filled with old and broken furniture. There isn't much in the way of anything that's usable here. Part of the ceiling has caved in and is just filled with a pile of rock in one area. It's in such a amount of disarray, it's difficult to even discern what the purpose of this room was.
Okay. I'm gonna roll an intelligence check to see if Hikan remembers something. With a 15, he's gonna ask Renji, can you still do that thing with your eyes?
Only if you give me 10 minutes.
You wanna give him 10 minutes, guys?
Oh, we can take a break.
Right.
Fair enough. I will sit down and I start to use Detect Magic as a ritual cast.
Rest is going to keep an eye up this way.
Okay.
I will accompany Nex up that way.
I will sit over here in the corner and start ritualing.
I'm just gonna fill this trough with water and see if anything happens.
Okay. You fill the trough with water while you wait for Renji to finish ritual casting their spell. The actual, like, the water mixes with the dirt and debris that is in there. It does start to drain out of the drain pipe from one area, but very slowly, as if the drain itself is blocked. It does not appear to do anything.
I'll fill the other side as well.
You fill the other side. This one drains a little faster, but otherwise, yeah, even with both troughs filled with water, there doesn't appear to be anything that happened. You don't hear any mechanism further into the building that will do anything, or
We need an alchemy jug that has bleach in it in order to clear the pipes out a little bit.
yeah.
Well, we do have a pressure washer.
We do.
Oh god.
Yeah. After 10 minutes, Renji, your detect magic vision kicks in, and you have a look around.
Honestly, it was much easier with the harvester around, but alright. And I have these Twilight pixel eyes once more. I think I will take a look here in this room for a moment.
Might have been easier, but you're doing it on your own now.
Yeah, I know. I can do it, but not as efficiently.
You look into the room and look around. Honestly, it looks completely mundane. Even in the previous room with the troughs, there's no magic here, which is weird. You would expect some kind of residual amount that would just be hanging out from previous usage, especially depending on the purpose and like level of magic that might have been at play in a place like this. It's surprisingly void of any magic.
Is it surprising in the sense that I normally see like background radiation in that sense, and there's just nothing?
Yeah.
Or is it okay? So it's less so than in like any other usual place where people have been.
Yes, it just seems to be void of it. Like you and your companions are as magical as you were since before getting here. It's just there's nothing else here. It's
Same here.
empty. You look in here. It appears to have been the remnants of what was probably once a storage room. Much the same to the other side, though the other room appears to have something that indicates it may have been a kitchen of some description once. Possibly a small preparation area, but nothing too big and detailed.
I think I would like to go in this direction.
Okay.
And I would try this door first. Oh.
You peer out into this large area, a raised platform of about, say, 5 feet off the ground in total, is presented to you at the head of the waterway that leads outside. At the head of the room, a giant statue of a beautiful woman with holding a spear in one hand and what appears to be a gourd in the other, sits and observes the waterway with a placid expression. The chamber is massive. It's even as you kind of open the door and head inside, your footsteps, the merest movement echoes off these expansive chamber walls.
That's... How big is the statue?
The statue is roughly 60 feet tall.
Damn.
Well, that is one giant woman. And this is just a completely empty waterway.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You sure we don't check these other rooms first?
We might as well, yeah. Let's...
Before that, is it the case that potentially whatever we need is something that's meant to go on that plinth and that causes the water, so we might be able to get an idea of the shape of it if it's got a...
Looking at it, it's less of a plinth and more of a spout with none of the actual, like, I forget what they're called. I know there's a name for them. The you know, on a tap, like the actual
The spinny bit.
Also?
yeah. Not the spigot, no. The
tiny bit that makes it go.
like the
Yeah.
So if you take a plus sign and then remove the bits at the edges that make it a plus, those bits.
The bits to turn the...
Yeah, the thing that you can grip onto to turn it.
I understand.
Yeah.
Spinny what make it go.
Exactly. We know, we understand each other.
Just out of curiosity, since I hadn't seen the Javelin of Lightning, could I shove the Javelin of Lightning in there?
To continue with the explanation, it's you notice that the actual mechanism appears to have holes in the sides of it, as if there is something that should go in there, but the holes that are there are far too wide to accommodate the Javelin of Lightning.
But are the holes, like, is it just one hole or is it multiple that you stick a shaft through?
There's multiple holes, though the details of which you probably wouldn't be able to see from where you are currently standing. You would have to enter the room properly and inspect it.
I will do the properly inspected.
Okay.
There should be within distance of my detect magic eyes.
Yeah, you get there, and there is a faint. Well, I say a faint. It's not faint at all. It's actually quite blinding. The amount of enchantment magic that is on this thing. Looking into the holes themselves, you see that they are. The interiors are jagged. Let's say the east and west holes are slightly higher than the north and south ones. So you imagine that if anything, it might be 2 bars that need to be set through to make the cross symbol to then be turned.
Okay.
But the inside is like almost puzzle-like. So it's probably a very specific thing that you have to find in order to get this done.
You require a key item.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's as if we are in a Zelda dungeon.
Oh my god.
What?
Who put this here?
Alright, shall I go back and start checking doors now?
A Zelda dungeon
Yeah.
in our Legend of Zelda Dungeons and Dragons campaign?
Watch out for ghosts.
Back up again.
Yeah. Let's open this door.
Okay. So
Oh.
before people get too excitable,
I'll close that one. I'll close that one.
I was gonna say.
I'll wait.
I have had that before when you roll
You
20
have
was
buttons.
new, and like people was like, "Oh, there's a map," and just like people with answers like, "Stop! I need to describe. Stop! Stop!" It's like trying to wrangle children at a theme park. It's like...
That is a big upside guess to Tailspire. You can just say, "Stop! No one can move. It's cutscene mode."
Yeah, I do have the cutscene button in Tailspire, and I'm very excited to use that.
Boundary also has a pause.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll start with Hikan. You open this door. The smell of stale air hits you in the face as you peer inside. A rotted and disused bed is the only thing that is in this room, and as you moved to go to the other ones, it was the same story. Meanwhile, Renji, you open the door to a northern room, and you find yourself in what appears to be a fairly nice-looking kitchen. Well, I say nice. It was nicely arrayed, but all the stuff here has very much been hit with the effects of time, all except one thing that your magic eyes tell you immediately is another thing that is covered in enchantment magic, is a pot that sits on this particular counter.
Okay. I would like to check it out more carefully.
You check out the pot. There's a lid on it. It looks, by all accounts, it looks fairly mundane. It looks like a standard iron pot with two handles on either side, with a similarly metal lid. But your eyes tell you that it is very, very magical. Everything else in the room lacks this magic, but the pot itself is pretty magic. Pretty magical pot.
I think with that,
You can see the type of magic listed at magic.
I can see the type of magic, yes.
Enchantment?
Yeah.
Enchantment.
Interesting.
I think I kind of like move my hands in a way and kind of open with my hands a window through which I see this pot as I cast Identify.
Okay.
Are you gonna take the 10 minutes to do that for ritual?
No, it's going to be a slot.
Okay.
First level.
So, you utilize Identify. You cast your spell upon this pot. I don't have the card for it just yet, but it is a pot that is known to you as Pucky's Indefinite Luncheon Pot. The general principle of the actual item itself is that it applies an effect similar to Gentle Repose on a body, but on food instead. Any food that you put into the pot and close the lid on remains as fresh as it was when the lid was closed.
You said it's Pucky's?
Yeah.
That is cool.
I have questions after session.
Is there something in it? Is there something in it? Is there something in it?
I will open it.
You open it, and as you do, you get a waft of this lovely aroma of fruits and vegetables, of this nice stew.
Ooh. What does this do? And I kind of poke a finger in and taste it.
Okay. You taste the stew. It's nice. It's a mixture of fruits and vegetables that are not any that you've probably... It's foods that are native to this general biome. So it would be stuff like shock fruits, hydromelons, that sort of thing. It's weirdly sweet, as well as being quite, like, having kind of smoky aftertaste. I would also like you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Really now? Fine. 14.
Okay, so you only take half of it.
What?
Poison stew.
They take 5 poison damage.
You said it would keep that.
Yeah. It's like the sense that, like, it's, you kind of taste it and it's like, that's not as your throat seizes up slightly. You manage to kind
So
of
it was 5?
5 poison
Oh,
damage.
Okay.
And you kind of back away. As the magic describes, the food itself should be perfectly fine, which can only tell you one real thing, that the contents of the food had been maliciously poisoned as opposed to gone stale.
Oh dear.
Are you okay, Renji?
I am going to take the pot,
Mhm.
move to the corner, pour it out,
Oh, I was going to attempt to identify that. Oh well.
and then prestidigitate it away.
Okay. You remove the spill and clean the pot. It is nice and clean now, and you now have a new magic pot that when putting stuff into it, like food and everything, it will remain as fresh as it was when you close the lid.
I
The lid
think
have like a locking mechanism.
It does.
Excellent.
I will give this to Hikan.
So since Renji cleaned out the pot, I just want to know, were I able to, being a chef and immune to poison with a high medicine skill, would I have been able to eat the stew to identify the poison?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was just curious. It's fine.
That's fine. But yeah, congrats. You have a magic pot.
Excellent.
Yeah. So as you've back to our other group, checking through bedrooms and things.
Yeah.
The as you're going through them, are you specifically are you just kind of opening the door, looking inside, and moving on, or are you?
I'll take some time looking around, especially if Renji's going to eat some strange stew.
Okay.
We'll look around.
I will be trying to look in rooms to see if they're magical, and I'll leave the full-on investigations to the others, but I will just want to make a quick scan, see if there's anything magical, because I'm on a timer.
Yeah.
I think that you have the highest investigation.
Yeah, Team
I
One
have
Brain
the
Cell
highest
is gonna
investigation.
gonna
I
do
only
the
have a
investigating.
+4.
Plus 0.
I have a -2.
Yeah.
I don't know what Zaiden's investigation is.
5.
Mara, please help.
Hey!
Okay.
Okay, I'll come and help. Yeah, all over. So
Like, I'll open all the doors to check for traps and do like a
Yeah.
perception overview, but
Yeah.
I'm not
So
gonna
if you
take the time.
want to do the perceptioning, and then Mara will do investigating.
I will help
Um,
Mara.
13.
I was
Everything
I was
fine.
briefly on Tyrina's sheet, but because it was scrolled down, I didn't see a name. I was like, why does Mara, the intelligence character, have a -1 investigation? No, 'cause-
Yeah, I'm gonna
Hell
help,
yeah,
help.
minus team. High five, Tyrina.
Woo!
Okay. So as you're going through rooms, you open the door with a 13. You don't see anything that is out of the ordinary in regards to traps and stuff. And after you give the all clear, Mara kind of quietly shuffles in and begins methodically going through what remains of the place. As she does, when she gets to the room that you're currently at, so I'll put her in here.
Mhm.
As is helping by moving these beds out of the way and stuff.
Yeah. She finds hidden within the mattress, the decayed mattress of this bed, what appears to be a medallion which has the symbol of Nehru on it. But it has another set of odd symbols that would otherwise, to a normal person, wouldn't be able to be read because they were in ancient Gerudo. But you have a Hikan with you who can read and understand everything.
Well, I can only understand spoken things.
Oh. Well, you do have a deciphering spyglass, I believe.
We sure do.
Yeah.
So we'll keep the
Tyrina
spyglass.
speaks modern Gerudo, which might
And
have some similarities.
you have let the Sheikah read ancient Sheikah.
Yeah. So, showing it to Tyrina, she'll kind of peer at it slightly and say, "Oh, Nehru, huh? Or I would have thought it would have been an Etheria place, but that's fine. Let's see. Hard to glean, but I think it's just a general protection and identification symbol, like as if mentioning like you've got Nehru's blessing and that all passages should be open to you or something."
Gonna wave it in Renji's direction and say, "Is it magic?"
Is it magic?
There is like a faint, actually faint magic aura of enchantment to this.
Used
Add
to
a
be.
similar aura to the Stone of Good Luck I have.
Kind of. Like it is somewhat similar.
Hmm.
Probably worth holding on to it.
Yeah.
Suppose so.
Hikan will methodically go through the rest of the doors,
Okay.
following the same
Oh.
pattern. Brief overview, investigation.
Continue being helpful.
Yeah. As you begin moving through the rest of the doors, they all are largely similar rooms in their own right. They're just more old, disused bedrooms. It's possible you think that in this particular area, the actual word.
Any more hidden stuff in them?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
You believe that this is, if the people who lived here and worshipped here or did whatever, this is probably where they slept. Yeah. As you move on and begin moving down the corridor, there is an unfortunate feeling that runs through all of you, a sense of coldness and dread that feels like it's creeping up behind all of you. And
I warned you about the ghosts.
And
You
Shit's
said
on the-
something about that.
I saw the ghosts earlier.
and we will leave that for now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted you to have me make a save of some kind because I'm in the back of the group.
Make a spook save to not be spooked.
Yeah. Okay. Well. In either
Wait,
case,
shit, we're gonna be fighting ghosts around Halloween. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh shit! It is like the day before Halloween is next.
Yeah.
I
Nice. Oh.
did it intentionally. Cut this bit. It was all intentional.
Yeah, we have to
going
now.
to be
Yeah.
It's kismet. So.
I believe
Thank
we're
you.
gonna
The
deal
new
with the haunted
Hikan
water
can make
shit.
Goulash.
Yeah. Thank you everybody so much for listening / watching. I have been ArticulateT, the Game Master for the Legend of Zelda D&D campaign. As always, I have had Renji Vox being played by Nether.
It was me.
I have had Hikan Sio being played by Avrdal.
Bye-bye.
I have had Zaiden Shari being played by Robo Pirate.
I'm so impressed of you intentionally setting up to have that on Halloween.
I have Max being played by Keith.
We're gonna go bust the ghosts.
Yeah. And we'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye now.